when shit's on your mind, like, you're supposed to, like, work through it, right? Like, when something's on your mind, it's in your forefront for a reason, or in your thought process, or whatever the case may be. I'm trying to turn this fan down. Driving to work, so bear with me. But I just thought, I've been slacking in doing therapy for myself and not staying on a consistent schedule of a weekly schedule anyways, like I would like to try to keep. I just need to stick to that commitment and be honest and true to myself. So anyways, I'm going to continue working and plugging away at it. So I said, I'm driving to work, and I'm like, well, I at least got a 30-minute drive. Might as well just jump on and express, spit some of these thoughts out that I'm having, because I'm having them for a reason. And at this very moment, I don't have anyone to talk to. And so when you don't have anyone to talk to, holding it inside, I've learned, it does no good. It literally does no good. I used to be one of those ones that would be like, oh, just, whatever you go through life, whatever it may be, you need to work through it. Because if you don't work through it, and you just, it is what it is, it's just a part of life, that's what it's supposed to be, man, holy moly, do you not realize, like, when you have, well, me anyways, when I've had the smack, holy shit, spiritual awakening, and then all the shit that had happened to me, and then the stuff and how I handled it, and anyways, so I'm gonna deal with what's on my mind right now. And I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of a anxiety playing in a role at the moment, because I'm sharing everything that I'm sharing and on my therapy journey, and yes, it's raw and it's real, but I am human, and I do have the anxiety of what people will think of me or whatnot. So anyways, what society has embedded into all of our heads, and how, like, you may think that I should be a certain way, that I shouldn't do this, I should do that, right? We all have that. We do, because we were trained. You're raised and trained to think a certain way. You think this way. Life for you must be this way. Like, it's how we're raised. It's how we're trained. So the anxiety inside of me, like, thinking about all my process of therapy, so I met somebody more than a couple months ago, 8-9 months ago, I can't remember now, I'd have to look at the date. Anyways, back in September, I met somebody. We've been friends. He's been very understanding, knows what I've been going through in the sense of lost catch-up. He knew, I told him about my connection, my tie to him, and why, whatever. So we've just been friends. Well, until about March, until St. Patrick's Day, things became, I guess, a little bit more, I don't want to say challenging, but became more of a friends with benefits. And I'm like, I didn't approach it. So I care about this person. I dig this person. This person's energy and fucking soul it's awesome. It matches mine. This is a connection it is not very frequent that shit like this happens, right? So this is where I'm at. Like, with the agreeance of, like, when it was approached and how it was approached, basically just being like, he's like, I'm interested in you, and, this is where you're at type situation, and who doesn't want the benefits, you know what I'm saying? Like, anyways, so I was in agreeance to friends with benefits, and then, like, oh, this is a challenge. So having my youngest, now my oldest understands, I can say, hey, we're friends, and if she's to see us, like, hug or snuggle or kiss or anything like that, it's not is not necessarily going to say, I'm not going to say it's not affecting her, but she's old enough and mature enough to understand that this is a friendship, and you know what I'm saying? Like, she's not going to cling to him and think that she need, you know what I'm saying? Like, as in on the opposite side of my youngest, the reality is like, you know, she doesn't have her biological, we call him sperm donor, in her life, which, hey, better for her. But she does, whoever I'm dating, or, and I shouldn't say whoever, it's not anybody and everybody, but she connects to, she's looking for that older gentleman figure as a father figure. You know what I'm saying? Not that she's necessarily looking for a father, but kids do that. So with that, I was just like, when we had talked about this whole friends with benefits thing, I was like, yeah, I'm down, but like, you cannot, not in front of my youngest, because I don't want her clinging, and she's already been abandoned enough. And so it's just frustrating, because I'll be honest with you, I don't know, you should never hold on to what you think your future is going to be. Just be in the present and be here and be now, and that's where I'm at right now. But the present and the here and the now is also very stressful, in the sense of, how am I going to explain it to an 8-year-old to bet that where we can all be around each other. And I mean, the bottom line is we cannot be next to each other with her around, because we fail miserably and strike out in wanting to touch, or just our energy connection together, and how it just rides. There's no pulling it off of just being friends, if you know what I'm saying. If we're in a place, y'all would pick it up. I mean, when it's natural, right? But yeah, I just don't know. So anyways, that's what's on my brain. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to decipher how I need to explain, or do I not explain? Like, do I stop this? Do I stop? Do I want to? No, I don't want to. It's overwhelming. Because I don't want friends with benefits, and I realized that within like the first week that it started happening, because I was telling him, like, I was like, I don't want friends with benefits. I don't want that. I need to set boundaries and expectations. And yeah, my expectations, but my boundary I need to set within myself is that the whole friends with benefits that was my ex-husband. That's how our relationship was. It was friends with benefits. We started as friends with benefits. It grew into something more. Exactly what happened with Ketchup. Friends with benefits. I wanted more. Like, this whole friends with benefits, I guess that's, maybe I'm like, where am I at? It's just all in my head. Like, I'm not saying that I need, like, full-on commitment, or, like, I don't know what I'm saying. That's what I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out, and I need help, because I'm overwhelmed. I like him. I dig him. But I also, too, know that if he has no intentions to I'm not saying to catch me, or I'm just saying, like, if this is just temporarily for him, then I know that, and if I know that, then I need to make the call and be better for myself and my daughter, because I don't want her caught up into something and you know what I mean, breaking her heart, and then I'm already emotionally tied, so I'm going to hurt anyways. Like, that's a part of, like, when you meet people and they come and they go in and out of your life. And so, like, I guess this is just point blank, like, when he approached me with the thought of friends with benefits, I guess we haven't really sat down I mean, do you even say, I don't know, like, what is his expectations of friends with benefits? Is he just calling it friends with benefits and no intention? Is this just temporarily? You see what I'm saying? Like, that's where I'm at with my thought process. And it's frustrating and overwhelming because it's not that it kind of puts a standstill on me a little bit, just because I can be careless and just be like, well, straight, like, don't even care what my children think of. And do me. But that's not what I want to do. Some guy's walking and has a punch on. I don't like that. I hate seeing people like that because my heart, I want to stop and I want to give him a ride. And I've learned that I can't do that all the time. So I try my best just to be like, okay, send that person some help that is in a great position to help them. And anyways, so yeah, that's what I'm dealing with in my thought process, and it's been on my mind. I've been distracted. I've been distracted. So where I was going with is, like, because I met somebody, when Ketchup was here, I was able to talk to him about, like, oh, I met somebody, or like, because Ketchup was he was my friend first and foremost. But we also, like, shared our lives with each other, and we never really held it against, like, he didn't get jealous of if I continued on to go date or see somebody, or, you know what I mean? Like, it was never like that. Like, it was like, we dated, we saw each other when we were together, but then when we weren't together, like, we lived our own separate lives, for a while. It was at the very tail end is when it was getting more and more, like, closer and closer, and not talking of others. You know, like, the other part was dropped. Because he'd always made the comment, you know, well, we're just gonna end up getting married. Like, he said he was gonna marry me, like, after things got figured out or whatnot, and I didn't know at that time, honestly. Like, I mean, I wasn't in that, like, yeah, I want to marry. You know what I mean? Like, I was just like, we were both like, oh, yeah, when we're healed and we're better people, blase, you know, that type thing. But he's been a huge part of my dating in the past, 4 or 5 years. I would share with him the thoughts and the stuff that I was going through. And he would help me and just be like, was this guy worthy of our Jen? He did. He knew about my hot mess. He knew that I was just a wreck, but he accepted me for me and still loved me for all the chaoticness that I've got going on in my life. But yeah, if he was here, I would just be like, I would straight ask him. Well, obviously, if he was here, this wouldn't have happened at all, because yeah, it'd be me and him, and he hung with Stevie, and that's the thing too. Like, obviously, he came in as a friend. That's where I'm at. Like, there's other scenarios that happened where it was like, hey, it was a friend with benefits, and I'm not trying to push anything. I'm put in this situation where it's like, I want to spend time with this dude. I want to enjoy his energy and his company, but I'm also a mom, and I gotta have my child around, and I can't have both at this moment unless I come up with a better understanding for her. And I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to lie. So I need to find a way that I can explain to her that, like, if she was to see us, which she already did, because he had stopped over, and, like, we were just sitting there chilling, and I mean, he went to go do a stretch, and as he stretched, he grabbed my leg, and it was kind of like, I wasn't ready for her to see that. You know what I mean? Like, she doesn't know that that's where our connection has kind of gone. So I'm struggling, y'all, and I need some help in that area. And how to handle this, because I want I don't want to hurt my children for bringing people in and out. Like, I'm not saying that my oldest is not going to be affected by this, but she's old enough to know that I've spoke to her and she understands. Like, she likes him. Both the girls think he's cool. Like, but yeah, it's just, that's where I'm at. I'm distracted, and a big part of me wants to push fully everything away and say, no, I can't do this no more. And it's not because it's not that I feel inside. It's not like part of me feels like I'm on such an amazing healing journey, but a part of me also knows that I have to set these expectations and protect myself and my children, like more so my children. But obviously my youngest is the biggest issue right now. And I know some people will be like, well, what's the issue? Like, she's young. What does it matter? Well, when you're young and you see things and you don't grasp and you don't understand, it can be very traumatizing and very devastating. Let me just give a little glimpse of maybe of the thought process in my head so you guys can kind of understand. But her sperm donor is not in her life, okay? The guy that I was with, which by the way, not too long ago, yesterday messaged me, the guy that, my toxic, abusive relationship that was, physical, that guy was in our lives for a great 4 years. Not great 4 years, but they were not great years. But so he was in our lives for a long portion of time, or a decent portion of time, where that connection and bond, and she bonded to him. I mean, amazing. They did have a pretty awesome connection, or he faked that connection for very, very good. But my youngest is a very cool person. She has a great soul, so her energy is good. So she connects not just to anybody and everybody, but anyhow. So, and then he's out of her life, you know what I mean? And then, so it's just the people that I've dated, they're in my life, you know, for a short period of time or a long period of time, and she is, you know, affected by that stuff. And, you know, me going through my healing and realizing what I went through as I was a child, when my mom was dating and bringing different people around, and I say people, but men around, at that time I didn't realize how, like, I don't want to say it confused me, I'm not, but I will say that at that time, what I remember being that I didn't like it, because see, I knew my parents married, I knew mom and dad, I knew that, like, I lived with both of them. She hasn't. And so anyways, this guy at this time, there's no talk of anything serious. There's no talk of any future. I mean, as of the talk of it, he's going to do his thing, I'm going to do my thing. So when you have that type of talk, like, what is one to do? Like, what do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to stop or hold his life or my life. I'm not trying to do that. But what do you do when you have a young child? You know, do I allow her to see our connection and our bond? And then when or if that ever happens and maybe that's a fear of mine, that just to be abandoned. I see saying that word. It just sucks, because it seems like, and I'm not speaking this into existence. I'm just saying that it feels like sometimes when I get to that spot of being like, this is the way my life is supposed to go, it gets completely derailed, or I get ripped of a heartbreak, death, divorce, just, you know, obviously see that I have the issues with abandonment myself. So that's my biggest thing with this situation. It wasn't supposed to make me cry today. Anyways. I know we can't just like plan our future. I mean, you can manifest it, and I believe in manifesting, and that's just where I'm at. I'm like, I honestly am so overwhelmed and confused that I just like, I don't even know what I want to manifest. Sometimes like there's not my thought process on abandonment now, and so a big part of me is like, okay, so that's the answer, it's abandonment. So then if I just call this off and end it now and deal with the hurt, then I can move on with my life and see what the next, you know what I mean, like in this chapter. And not that I'm telling y'all, there's nothing's wrong with this chapter in the sense that it's not bad, it's not negative. It's just there's no intentions at the end, and it's like if there's no intentions at the end for a young child, I cannot introduce it to her in my eyes. Like, that's just how I see it. And so it's like, well then it's a challenge to even be around each other, just to be friends, like legit friends, just not even like how we were for the longest, like for many months. Like it was so, we were both like, it wasn't happening, nothing. Don't get me wrong, a connection was still, because like our vibe we just vibe fucking awesome. I don't know, I enjoy it, but I also know that I need to protect my child. And then a part of me is like, well then if I push him away, am I doing the wrong for pushing away, or am I doing the right? What the fuck am I supposed to do? I wish I had a book. I wish I had the book to it all. I do. I just gotta find it. Oh gosh. Alright. Look. Oh, that's cool. I have a big sign that was painted. I should have showed you real quick, but it's they take saran wrap and they wrap it around a tree, and then an artist goes out there and paints, and they change it up often. But that was it said look in bold paint red, and then it had a motorcycle driving or painted on it. That was cool. Anywho, okay, change the thought process. What are we doing here, guy? Yeah. So on days that I work every day, but some days I have off, but I like to listen to music, and I just kind of think about like whatever's going on in my head, whatever's going on in my life, and right now this is what's going on in my life. I met somebody, totally just friends, and then back at St. Patrick's we started being more than friends, and it's just kind of continued on. And yeah, it just gotta figure it out to the point of what I can do to explain either, I don't know how do you take an 8-year-old, I don't know. Anyways, so that's what I have going on in my brain at the very moment, and the therapy, I guess, that I need to speak and get it off. But I'm not gonna lie, days like this, I do miss my best friend. I miss my healthy best friend. I've had multiple best friends. I've had many best friends, but I'm just saying, like, the one that I lost before I lost Ketchup. The one that decided to walk out of my life, which, hey, it needed to be done. But I do miss her at times like this, because it's like, I just miss the healthy part of her, because she was my person that would always listen to me. Alright, I'm going to jump off here, because I still got to go around the corner and I gotta collect my emotions. I'm not trying to stuff them, but I have to because I don't want my clients seeing this. You know what I'm saying? So, alright. Love each and every single one of you. Thanks for being here and listening to my raw and real and unfiltered therapy. Bye.